Thank you so much. Let me take this moment to thank my friend, my brother Ape for this opportunity. Thank you, Purple Foundation, for this great opportunity you've given me to share on what I call finding your long leg. I read somewhere that about 90 million Nigerians are below poverty line. So that alone, then it now says that 1 out of 6 Nigerians is extremely poor. Now that means if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even as we're seated here, it means 1 person is poor. We may not have such people here, but I would like to speak to individuals who actually found themselves in this category. Maybe some of them are not here. Maybe some of them are watching, or later when they watch this video. There are just certain things you can do that could take you out of that. It's not acceptable to find yourself there in that position. It's not acceptable. Now, what can I do? I can exchange my time. We all have 24 hours. Everybody, equally distributed, 24 hours. So what are you using your time for? I can exchange my time for something of value. I can exchange my time for money. Now, back to which you started saying about Generation X. I saw myself, okay, let me say, I did something as a little boy. I needed a hunting dog, and there was a young man who was taking care of their family cattle, and I approached him. I was in primary school when this happened, and I approached him. I said, I needed a puppy from him, but I don't have money to pay for it, and I'm such a person that I don't rely on people paying my bills. So I said, I will follow him to take care of the cattle, and then by the time his dog has the litters, he will give me one. And he agreed. I did that over time, and exactly that was what happened. When the litters arrived, he gave me one. Now what I did was I exchanged my time for something of value for me. So if you find yourself in that demography, don't just settle. You have time, 24 hours. How can you exchange that for something of value? Another thing you can exchange is your talent, whether developed or not yet developed. Before I got married, I was working with my wife somewhere in Lagos, just like a week before our wedding. By the way, in about 4 days' time, we'll be celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary. Yeah, she's actually here. I'm sure she has encouraged me. And she looked at me and said, by the way, what's your talent? I answered, but trust me, what came out of her mouth, I'm not sure I will see it here. He has always teased me on that. Now, maybe that's my talent, I don't know. But it has to do with relationship. It has to do with relationship. So I found out that I have developed relationship with incredible God-fearing women. God-fearing women. And believe me, they've now become part of my business partners. Now, we're talking about adding or addition, multiplying, through value creation. Now, for me to scale up to that point, I needed this relationship. Maybe I have the talent to build that relationship with the opposite sex, but it has helped me to scale up. Now, I moved from construction, architecture, to real estate. It didn't just happen. I focus on that which I am very good at. Or because I went to a technical school, that means from my days in secondary school to my days in university, I've concentrated on just one thing, which is the building industry. And I told myself, why do I need to bother myself to go into something that is not my area of strength? So I stayed in. And it paid off because it's the power of focus. Yeah, so I stayed in there. I put in so much to know about construction. And even though I wasn't getting jobs at a certain point, but some of my friends who maybe are influential, when they started getting jobs because they couldn't implement, they called me. Now, early in life, I told myself, I said, I must always have a project. Because when you start making money, you tell yourself, I have money at a point. But when you have a project, like when our sister was talking, you know, you have, in Africa, you have all these family members coming in, and you are actually expected to take care of everybody. But when you have a project, when the money is coming, you are directing the money to that project. So it helps you to save money. So that was exactly what I was doing. So that was like an addition for me. From there, now you see, construction architecture allows me to provide service without requiring capital. Now, when you ask people, why are you not in business? They will tell you, my problem is capital. So I encourage people, especially those who are in the, maybe are a professional. You don't necessarily have to wait. You don't have to wait for a paid job. If you are a professional, like in the building industry, it helps you because you are providing services. You don't need money for that. So I get invitation to do things. All I do is to provide services for that. Whatever money I make out of that, I also save. So by the time I get to that point where I needed to scale up, I have accumulated some amount of money. And scaling up for me is in the real estate aspect. So over time, I built relationship, like I said earlier on. From that relationship, there are things that have helped me to build relationship to the point that those relationships become profitable to me. One is, it has to do with who I am, my identity, my core value, my purpose. Now, you have to stay there, because if you mess up that area of your life, when your helpers of destiny come, completely you messed up an opportunity. Completely. You see, a lot of us, for people who spoke earlier on, you know, we try not to quote the Bible because we're sensitive to other religion or people who are here who are not Christians. But you see, when you read, be slow to anger, be quick to listen, be slow to speak. Sometimes we think we're doing that for God. No. It's for you. It's for you. It's for me. You see, if I have anger problem and she's meant to help me, you see, sometimes in life, if I have anger problem, you find that God will surround me with people who will bring it out. And in most cases, we get irritated with those kind of people, but they're actually there to help us deal with the issue. Because when the time comes for me to engage my helper of destiny, anger will rob me of that opportunity. So I will have the opportunity through my relationship with other people to eradicate the issue of anger completely. If I'm the kind of person that I'm considered to be talkative, if I don't deal with that, before I encounter my helper of destiny, I will rob myself of that opportunity. So when it came to that point for me to multiply, a lady met me, somebody I've worked with, and she's considered very hard. And she said to me, BAALAH, there's someone that wants to develop, she had a plot of land. There's someone that wants to develop this plot of land. He requested it, but I don't want to give them. And instead, she said, can you do it? I said, yes. At that material time, all I had was just a few millions, just about 3 million. Now, that amount of money can only afford me through design and approvals, then settle the little farmers that were there on the land. And I said, yes, I will do it. And I picked it. We started the design work. We finished, submitted for approval. And it was approved. Paid the people who were farming there. This same lady organized her friends who now came and subscribed to what we're doing. That alone also added to her, because we had an agreement, it added to her income, because now she also earned a commission out of what she's doing. So there's an additional value that came to her, but it also afforded me the opportunity to scale up what I was doing. But how did I come about getting few millions kept aside? Because what? There's this earn money. I wasn't spending my money, I was keeping it. And then when the opportunity came, I utilized the money. So now I look back in Guzapi, I have a property developed. Now we're moving to the next one. So it's very important, our relationship with people. Coming back to my identity, my value, my purpose, faith is very, very key. How do we develop faith? For me, my relationship with God is very, very key, especially if you're in Africa. It's very key. You can't eliminate it. You cannot eliminate it. It's very key. When you read and it says, I give you power to make wealth, that means you require power to make wealth. But where are you getting the power from? You could actually get it from this side. You could get it from this side. So I became scared the day I read the scripture. It says, there's a way that seems right to a man, but at the end is destruction. So if there is a way that seems right to me, that means by my conclusion is the right thing to do. But that same way can lead me to destruction. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I also read, it says that the word is able to build me, is able to build me and give me an inheritance. Now, before inheritance will come, there's a building, and that's where we miss it most of the time. That inheritance, if you decide to do it the God's way, there's a building process you must go through. There's a building process you must go through. And that building process is going to take people that will actually subject you to, like I said earlier on, eliminate those toxic elements in you. Take those things out, yank those things out completely. Refine you well for where God is taking you to. In closing, I want to say that I have Pote, I have Design Accent, I have Cypress. These are vehicles. These are platforms for addition, for multiplication, for growth. Team building is key for success. Almost everybody that spoke here, you could hear relationship, people, and all of that. Please let's not miss out on that. You need people in your life. You need to build platform. You also need to keep educating yourself. They said you educate yourself, you uneducate yourself, and re-educate yourself again. I would like to go or step down by saying this one thing, that in building platform, stay and focus on your area of strength. Don't just move from here to there because any other person is doing it, you also want to do it. Stay in your area of strength. God bless you. Thank you.